I'm Alex Cron. I'm the software development track, and my specialty has really data, manipulating, getting it into the databases, and working with it. Let everybody go around and introduce themselves.
I'm Alex Starr. I worked on the business logic and some of the MVC scaffolding and some bug fixes, and kind of helped out all around full stack.
I'm Sarah Smith. I'm in software and web development. I did mostly UI stuff.
I'm Ariel, and I'm in the web design development program, and then I did a lot of UI stuff, and then I worked on the dashboards.
Our app is called Check-in Manager. We work with local charity called Loaves and Fishes in the Fox Valley. They had a system for registering people who come in, and they're what they call guests, and they provide meals for those guests or for people who are in need or in hunger. They also provide kind of a social environment too at these dinners and meals, so that people who are normally isolated can come in and talk and chat and sit down. So it's not just come in, grab a tray, sit down, and get the heck out. It's kind of come in, eat till you're full, and then, have your social time and go. So the Loaves and Fishes requires grants to be able to function. So part of that, getting those grants, is having good data in order to apply for these grants. So their current process, this is their data thus far this year. It's basically when a guest comes in, they go up to the podium and they mark down, their adult, child, senior, male, female, where they come from. So this is their data. This is their current system. So we came up with a system for them to be able to get their data in and get it reliable, because to go through a meal one night, it takes a volunteer about 20 minutes to go through and count all this up, enter it into Excel. So our process is to cut this out and get them entered, and then be able to take good data in and reliable data, and also spit the data back out in a format that they can get it into and put it into grants. Let's take a look at our app here. This is our check-in manager system. Go ahead and log in here.
Yeah, so the idea is to have like a kiosk where when the guest comes in, there's like maybe a tablet or an iPad on a stand, and when the guest comes in, they can go through the check-in process and select their metrics, whether male, female, or whatever, and then it does it automatically, so we don't have to have somebody going through and doing all the data by hand and putting it into Excel. Just a lot of needless time.
We'll show you the system, the guest system in a second here. So basically what we have here is we have the data comes in, we've got charting with JS query and JS chart, Canvas.js. It shows some interesting things. When I said that the guest comes in and registers, so they have a number of guests that are registered, but there's also meals served, because they're allowed to go get another tray of food, so they count the trays at the end of that. Tells them how many are served. One of the things that they need is to be able to analyze their data, which they can't do real well in here. It allows them to see how many guests have come in a particular time frame, and it also tracks how many meals they serve. So they can look at it and say, hey, on this March 23rd date, guests only get about 1.5 meals per person. Whereas on March 21st, what happened there? There were 2 meals per person. Why did they eat more that night? Well, turns out that was meatloaf night. Everybody loved the meatloaf.
This is all live data.
Yeah, this is all their data. There's 5 years of their data in this right now. And the other thing they wanted to track was weather, because weather has an effect on it. So that was one of those analytics they wanted to do. So we have 3 years of historical weather data in there. And then when they go through and close a meal at the end of the night, it'll go out and grab the weather from Weather Underground, like you guys did. And then it'll archive it, total it up, archive all the guests, and put it into a format that they need to see. Let's go into history here. And this allows them to go through and pick a specific date range they want to see. And then display the data. It's going to be March here. And then they can see their data, all the people who showed up, and how they wanted all the statistics that they need to see, the meals, the guests, how many, the races and genders, and then it allows them to export it to Excel, which is how they get it to Feeding America, who contributes food to them. So it spits it out in the Excel format they use to send to Feeding America. Let's look at the check-in system here. So you go to an event, tonight's event, you click Start, and this is what the guests would see. Start. And this is what the guests would see. When they come in, they see their kiosk, this is what's waiting for them. One of the things we want to do is make sure it was faster than this system and more accurate, reliable, because sometimes you get people come in, they might 2 boxes, they might mark, multiple cities, whatever. So you kind of, your statistics get off. So you go through, the person checks in, they choose male or female, child, senior, adult, their gender or race, ethnicity, where they're from. And then one of the things that they asked us to put in was they needed to know how many repeat people they had. So to find out if they were serving the same people over or how many new people were coming in so they could see if their numbers were increasing due to new people. So.
Yeah, we really made a big effort here to try to make things very simple, because sometimes people who come in might be underprivileged and might not be able to understand or read, or sometimes people come in intoxicated or whatever, but we wanted it to be as simple and easy as possible.
And now that data is on the database, on Azure websites. What? Oh, yeah. All the basic CRUD operations are in there that you'd normally see in ASP.NET. Let's go back to dashboard. And then events, so we can add events, create a new event, edit an event. Employees, so you can get the employee list in there. You can edit the employees. Alex worked with being able to hash the passwords, so if they change the password, it will actually, they put my checks, it will rehash it and put it back in the database as a hashed password. They can change they can add new locations, so you can see we have their current location, which is location 1, St. Therese, and then we have test sites, just to test things this week.
And also for scalability purposes, if an organization that decides to use this in the future has multiple locations, they can have that functionality.
We want to make it not just for loaves and fishes, but for any organization that needed this functionality. So we want to make it applicable to those organizations too.
So what's the importance of tying weather to events?
The weather would determine, one of the things I look at is the total guests that came in for that night, and if the weather was bad, they would want to know if it affected the number of guests who came in, and then be able to predict how many guests would come in later, so how much food they needed to make. So if they're looking at a night where it's going to be below freezing, they may not make as much food if they can predict that there will be less guests.
So our system can actually help them minimize food waste, maybe save money for expenses that need more than waste. So
Yes.
So during the check-in, you can select which city the guest is from. Is there a way to edit that for, like, if I wanted to start using this down near Milwaukee, for example?
We don't currently, no. It's
Yeah.
one of those things that was on our wish list.
It would be, it's not, you can't edit it dynamically, I mean, you could set up another application and change them in the back end, but
Okay.
It was on our wish list, though.
yeah, since this application was actually an application that we want to be able to be used in a production environment, we had to make some sacrifices because some things, like, we couldn't sacrifice functionality because we actually had a set of business rules from this organization and what they wanted out of the project, so we couldn't just be like, well, we don't want to do this because we can't figure it out, or we actually had to go through and get exactly what they wanted or what they needed to be able to report this kind of stuff to Feeding America.
So when do you predict this would start to be used?
Monday, there's a board meeting for this organization, and they will request funding to put it in the facilities to use it. So they'll get the iPad or the Android tablet, and the kiosk, and the internet connection they would need to use it.
So,
So through the next month or so.
that's awesome. So what's the biggest challenge?
Each bus or?
Yeah, I'm sure y'all had different
Well,
ones.
I think the biggest challenge was that, like I said, we had like a set of business rules that they wanted, so we kind of had to use like live data and had to make our application build around what they wanted. So while we still did have some of the like creative control over it, we also had to build it to be functional for them.
For me, it was data. There's a lot of data in there.
You didn't have to hand key any of that, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Well, this year's were, yes, this year's.
Oh, I was thinking you had an Excel spreadsheet.
Well, the years past, the 5 years past, they had an Excel spreadsheet. So I was able to bring some of that in. There was some data massaging to go there. Then I downloaded 3 years of data from the National Oceanic Record.
Also inconsistencies with the way they've logged data, and
Yeah.
it's a mess. So this application potentially saved them tons of money and definitely tons of time.
Mine was definitely the dashboard. That was kind of a headache.
I am not a big fan of Razor, so that was some getting used to.
So did you use like a bootstrap, like template within Razor?
Yeah, kind of multiples, a little bit. We started with Bootstrap, and then I actually found one that I really liked, so I switched some of the pages over. And now we're actually kind of mixing the two, depending on the page. This one was all built just from scratch. We didn't use like a template or anything. But our landing page is a template, you know, this is just a basic
Yeah. So you did a great job with this.
Yeah.
When you asked for help with some of the buttons on it, trying to get it to submit, I was a little afraid to touch anything because I was like, oh, this is this is quite the piece of work.
This does like an API post, right?
I don't think so. No, it just does the JavaScript, right? JavaScript.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm not big on. I'm not familiar with. I'm not familiar with JavaScript, so.
I would
Daunting to
assume
submit
that
to.
the menu probably goes away for the kiosk. also.
Yeah, you can lock it down.
Yeah.
When they get the app, whatever the tablet or whatever, it'll lock them out.
Well, on page load, it actually scrolls down, so that disappears, but you can still scroll up just like we did. But if we, like we said, if we, I guess like locked it down, or figured out a way where it would be able to scroll on the screen. But, I mean, I guess they could get out of this. I say, I don't know if there's much functionality with just that simple one. This is all kind of like on its own. It's not really with like our other pages. But yeah, I guess they could still close out of this.
you know, buy the kiosk, you buy one when they lock the buttons up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can take care of that problem on the hardware.
Cool. Yeah.
How many sprints did it take you to do all the data entry?
I was doing the entry after last night, so.
So far.
Yeah, exactly.
Will this be an ongoing project?
Yes.
Or are you done?
Yeah. The executive director of Lowe's Efficiency is my wife.
Oh, I was kind of wondering.
I am tied to this forever.
Since it is ongoing, have you considered using like service workers so you can manage like intermittent connections?
I did, one of the things with the nonprofits is the cost.
Yeah.
So, they are working with Whitley. Doug's in that group. They're working with Whitley and Microsoft. Microsoft is doing a pilot for this area of some of their services, and one of them is Azure services. They're offering $5,000 a year of points for Azure, so that covers a lot. That would cover a lot. So, depending on how much some of their Azure services are, I would definitely consider using something.
I was actually referring to the service worker, the JavaScript type framework.
Oh.
It's more of a, if you don't have a connection anymore, you can still
Oh, okay, yeah.
post stuff later.
That's awesome.
Service workers is kind of a newer thing, but it would work really good for authentication.
Yeah.